EA Sports is proud to present PGA Tour coverage. Welcome to the home of the Wells Fargo Championship, where the likes of Rory McIlroy, Ricky Fowler, and long-hitting J.B. Holmes have all won. It was first opened for play in 1961. It has really grown through the years, and it is now played by the best in the world. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo for EA Sports. Let's jump down to the golf course. Well, this looks good.
Certainly is.
She's ended up on the fairway and with such a good lie. So many more options available now. And wait for it. Yes, 105 yards away. This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
On the green. And a chance for birdie here on the first hole.
Really. This is an awkward length.
So close.
And yet it still counts for another shot.
Good solid par right there. Teeing it up here at the second hole, Frank, it's a short par 3.
Yeah, it plays a little bit downhill, about half a club, Rich. There's a sort of shallow bunker in that back area, and also that green starts to reduce in size on the left side. Good par 3.
Headed for the bunker, I think. And the tee shot ends up in the bunker. Now from the bunker.
Yeah, just a little splash out on this par 3.
Frank, that reminds you of maybe what, the greatest bunker player of all time? These putts keep the round together.
Now really, Rich, right now it's just a case of running out of holes. Pars are fine.
Frank, here at the third, players facing a challenging tee shot.
For a number of reasons, Rich. One, that the hole bends to the left. 2, that the fairway starts to run out. And 3, the length of the second shot. You get rewarded the better you hit your tee shot down here. Well, where this ball's going, there's no fairway there, only rough. Remember, out of the rough. Expect the ball to jump forward a little bit.
Frank, not close, but from that lie, not bad.
Oh, that's excellent. Seriously, given the conditions, Rich.
You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Well, there's an opportunity wasted.
Just knock it in for a par, and let's forget about this one. Golf is not about perfect, but it is going to hurt the cause.
Good putt. Back over now to the fourth. Not a whole lot of movement so far here in the third round early portion. Still a lot of golf to be played, but he's going to need to pick up the pace if he hopes to get in contention late.
Street, Bobby Jones used to say the hardest shot in golf's the next one. Judging by that light, it's not going to be too hard.
Second shot. Good look at the green. Well, this one is offline just a bit. Look out. That one is going to end up in the rough. Pretty good result right there, considering...
It looked rough all the way.
Exactly.
Rich, really did.
This from 7 feet. Chalk that up as a birdie for the scorecard. Now to the first par 5 here at Quail Hollow, the 5th hole. It's 570 yards, and it would seem, Frank, that this tee shot sets up well for a guy like Rory McIlroy.
It does. Someone that hits it long and moves the ball right to left, and that's what you're going to have to do here. One of the main reasons for that is not necessarily the dog leg, but the fact that the fairway, Rich, slopes away from you. It slopes to the right and away. So that makes that tee shot so much more difficult.
Wayward from the tee, and this one is headed for the rough, Frank. 190 now on the second shot. That one is bunker bound, it looks like. That one is in the bunker. Not missing by much today, but enough to again be in the bunker. In the greenside bunker, Frank, little bit of a problem. Birdie try up next. Frank going for another birdie here.
Just to get on a real roll.
Seems to really have the touch today. Wow, Frank, this is all you want in a par 3. 250 yards here at the 6th.
Hey, that's what these guys need, especially in a PGA championship. Fortunately, the hole plays a little bit downhill, but 250, whichever way you cut it, is a big par 3. This looks like it's going to find the target.
Well played here, went straight for the flagstick, and she will have a nice putt coming up. Shouldn't be a problem here. Oh, hello there. Really nice putt. Frank, there's a lot to chew on here as you get to the tee at the 532-yard par 5 7th.
In today's game, 530 plus change you'd think is incredibly short. And look at the trouble in front of you.
And let's see what she's got here. She is loading up for the big one. Wow, I mean, she absolutely annihilated that tee ball. Frank, I know you like boxing. That was some heavyweight power right there.
Smoked it. Oh, that was sweet. Straight down the middle.
Frank, second shot here at the par 5 7th. You having a go at this one?
Yes, but you still have to respect the water and the trouble around. So anything slightly left of that flag is fine.
This could be a good one. Superb shot.
It's as good as it's going to get. There's going to be no worries about making that one.
Well, they don't come around too often. Opportunities for eagle. One sees it if you get the chance. It's a good one here. Frank, I love a drivable par 4. In the modern power game, it really adds an element of excitement. And here we go at the 350-yard par 4 8.
Well, you're definitely going to love this one then, Rich, because it ticks all the boxes here. There's no water in play, just a few bunkers down the left and the one that protects the right side of the green. And you've got a really narrow green, so plenty of reward with minimal risk.
Oh my goodness, that is on in one. Wow, what an incredible shot.
Unbelievable.
Out of the short par 4-8 here at Quail Hollow, just 350 yards. Frank, players can lay it up and just hit a little baby wedge into the green, but why not go for it in one, try to make something happen?
I think both plans work well, Rich. This is one of those holes, the more you think about it, the more complicated it gets. You're going to lay it up, lay it up. If you're going to go for it, just aim at that tree and hit it down there. Just take your medicine.
How about that T-ball? Not just in the fairway, but way down the fairway.
Yeah, a lot of people can hit it long and crooked. Long and straight, that's the hard one to get. That is absolutely in prime position.
Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's full melody now.
So the dominant performance continues.
Yeah, we're watching two tournaments right now, the one at the top and the rest.
Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back. Oh, I liked that.
She's ended up on the fairway, and with such a good lie, so many more options available now. Nice position, short grass, second shot. And that's how you play the game, right there. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Down to the par 4 11. Frank, what do you think of this hole?
It's an interesting hole, Rich, and I'm curious to see how aggressive players will play here today. The easy way, obviously, is just hit it down the right side and set up a nice second shot with a short iron. Or the most fun way is to take the big stick out and try and bite off as much of that corner as you choose. But be prepared to pay the price should it not come off.
Frank, on an uphill shot like this one, did you do anything differently in terms of your setup over the ball?
Yeah, I made sure the ball wasn't too far forward because on an uphill shot, there's always a struggle to get all your weight going forward.
Chance for birdie after that beautiful shot. Continues to amaze, yet another birdie, and what a day it's been. Here we are now at the 12th, and Frank, this is a beautiful but dangerous hole, par 4.
It is in a number of ways. The hole bends gently to the right, which you'd think would favour a nice little fade, but the fairway just seems to shrink up. I've seen this fairway missed by so many good players. And plus its yardage, 450 odd. You can't really lay back too far, otherwise you've got too long for your second shot.
Good strike, good lie, good chance to attack the pin.
Should be safely on deck.
Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Oh, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
And this will be a 5-foot putt here. You always like that. Count it as a birdie. Now to the par 3, 13th hole. Frank, this one 210 yards.
Very, very good par 3. This is actually a big green. It's 37 yards deep, but it actually plays small. There's a front right portion, there's a roll-off area in the middle, and there's a roll-off area in the back. So don't be deceived by the size of this green. You better be pitching that tee shot right bang in the middle.
That is superbly executed inside of 5 feet. Just a sensational approach shot. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Right in the heart. Well, Frank, as we arrive at the par 4 14th, just 345 yards, our players no doubt are looking for a little advice from a guy who's been there. You've done it at the highest level. What's the right play here?
Rich, after all these years, I think it's like a modified tee shot. And what I'm going to say with that is like a strong 3-wood, something that pitches around 270 and kicks 30 or 40 yards, finishes up about 20 yards short of the green. I think that's the best ploy. You won't be able to get at all the flags, but I think you'll play the hole under par for the week.
When's the right time to pull out the big driver and have a go at this green?
I don't think there is, but maybe you at home should try.
Well, that's a bit disappointing.
I guarantee you, though, she thought she had that one.
This for birdie. Well done. Well, now we come to the really interesting 345-yard par 4 14th. Frank, I'm thinking that if you're leading, you're probably not going to try to drive this and take on the risk with the water on the left. But if you're behind, you have a chance to make up some ground.
Yeah, I haven't looked at my yardage book, Rich, on this hole. Only good and bad things happen with the driver. Nothing in between.
Right where they were aiming, in the fairway. Now the all-important approach to this, the final par 5 at Quail Hollow. Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid. Frank, that is how it's done.
Yeah, take a gross of those. That is a lesson in itself.
And now a chance for eagle. It is in for an eagle. At last, we have arrived at the start of one of the most daunting finishing stretches in all of golf. They call it the Green Mile, 16, 17, and 18 here at Quail Hollow. The 16th is a par 4, 508 yards, Frank.
And this hole was made even more difficult when you pushed that green further left to bring the water more in play with the second shot. I mean, it's a great par 4. It's strong in every single department. seen some long tee shots, but it's the advantage to tee that ball up. Get it up there quickly, get the wind behind you. It's amazing how far you can hit it.
Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
Just a superb shot.
You're not going to see much better than that all day
today. That's how you keep a round going, making from that distance. Frank, this is all you want in a par 3, especially late in the round. You have to carry the water. You have to deal with the pressure. At 221 yards, this requires a player's very best.
On the process of elimination, don't go long, don't go left, don't go short, and right is marginal. It doesn't leave you with much.
Not looking good, Frank.
I think it's wet.
That was a solid strike and a good result. Settles in over the putt. Continuing the putt with confidence. Now to the finishing hole here at Quail Hollow. Frank, what can we expect?
If there was a name for this hole, Rich, it should be called Narrows. The creek that meanders its way down the left side and actually divides that hole into really half the size of what a normal par 4 should be. That makes it hard. The bunker on the right is your bailout area, just over 290 yards to get past that, and then the narrowest green that still sits up against the lake. This is just a brutal finish.
Steeply up the hill here. This is going to play very long. This is a good-looking shot. Terrific golf shot. And now, that for an easy birdie. Mark that as a birdie on the card. Frank, in golf, there's nothing quite like the final round of a hotly contested championship, and this one could be a doozy.
And there's nothing quite like that leaderboard I'm looking at right now. We are going to have some amazing golf. This one is going to have to be won.
Today's coverage brought to you by EA Sports and the PGA Tour. Thanks for joining us here today in Charlotte, North Carolina for the final round of the Wells Fargo Championship. Frank, what do we have out here today?
Well, if history has a chance of repeating itself, remember those great closing rounds by Rory McIlroy? That 62, that was one of the best rounds ever shot that year, back in 2010. And, of course, that playoff, too. Ricky Fowler back in 2012. We actually beat out then world number one Rory McIlroy with that stunning drive down the finishing hole and brilliant wedge to a tight flag. This golf course, it can give it, it can take it away. But for us, from where we're sitting, Rich, we'll enjoy the view today.
No doubt about it. Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. Superb shot.
Well, it's as good as it's going to get. There's going to be no worries about making that one. Ooh, chance for birdie. A great start.
Frank, a nice mix of opening holes here at Quail Hollow in the Wells Fargo Championship. Pretty short par 3 here at the second.
180-yard shot. We'll play more like 175 for the half a club downhill. There's much more green on that right side. If you're not too sure what club to hit, then you should stay away from that left side.
And this is looking really good. So on the putting surface and taking a good look now at this birdie putt here at the second. Locked in on the read and the speed. That drops for another birdie. 2 in a row to start the round. Frank, here at the third, players facing a challenging tee shot.
For a number of reasons, Rich. One, that the hole bends to the left. 2, that the fairway starts to run out. And 3, the length of the second shot.
I love this. She is winding up. Just wants to tear the cover off this golf ball. Wow, Frank, look at that one run out. Just blistered that tee shot.
Yeah, that has to be 325 if it's an inch.
On the green in regulation. This would be a huge momentum swing. This one's for birdie. So, Frank, what do you think of the start so far?
Rock solid. Very impressed.
Now to the fourth hole here at Quail Hollow, just under 490 yards.
Yeah, they used to have the tee on the right side, would actually make that tee shot very uncomfortable. When they put the new tee box in on the left side, it's a little easier to hit that fairway because that fairway slopes from right to left.
And knew it right away. Picked up the tee, didn't even look at it. We can see it. It's perfect. Right down the middle of the fairway. Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now.
Mark a birdie on the card. Here we are at the par 5 fifth. It's 570 yards, Frank. This should be reachable for most players, don't you think?
Yeah, if you hit a good tee shot, especially with the draw, it will be. But the hardest part of this is judging that kick on the fairway that kicks the ball to the right. And it sort of turns at that awkward area at where the top of your tee shot range. That's where that dog leg is.
She's ended up on the fairway, and with such a good lie, so many more options available now.
Second shot.
Oh, what an incredible shot. Frank, in today's modern game where players are hitting it so far, I always feel like one of the more exciting holes is a reachable par 5. And here we are at the 5th, 570 yards.
Yeah, this is reachable providing you hit a good drive. Otherwise, it becomes very awkward on the layup. Sort of often threading the ball out of trees and just trying to find some sort of third shot. So to your point, big advantage with a good tee shot here.
Headed for the bunker. In the bunker, still with a chance for an up and down. And the tee shot ends up in the bunker. Well, bunker play is really about technique and feel. The two greatest ever are probably Gary Player and Seve Ballesteros. Seve actually was so good, he was so skilled, that he could open up a 3-iron, that's right, a 3-iron, on a short bunker shot from a green side bunker and splash it to a couple of feet as if he had just used a 60-degree sand wedge. Amazing. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Frank, there's a lot to chew on here as you get to the tee at the 532-yard par 5/7.
In today's game, 530 plus change you'd think is incredibly short. And look at the trouble in front of you. Water all the way down the right side and around that right side of the green. Bunkers left. This is not for the faint of heart. That's a ginormous tee shot.
Frank, here we are at another par 5, second shot to the 7th. Is it time to go pedal to the metal?
Yeah, this is the shortest of the 4 par 5s, and the second shot has to be respected. Left obviously isn't ideal, but it's still better than letting the ball go to the right.
It should be pretty good right there, on the safe side. Well, that's just a tee to green clinic, a seminar on how to do it the right way, every single green in regulation. Continuing to play well, a birdie. Frank, I love a drivable par 4. In the modern power game, it really adds an element of excitement. And here we go at the 350-yard par 4/8.
Well, you're definitely going to love this one then, Rich, because it ticks all the boxes here. There's no water in play, just a few bunkers down the left and the one that protects the right side of the green. And you've got a really narrow green, so plenty of reward with minimal risk.
That is classy.
Yeah, chance of going in.
Frank, how rare would this be if this putt drops?
Well, this is I'd like to say once in a lifetime, but on the odd occasion we do see back-to-back eagles, but it certainly is something to watch.
Good putt. Well, Frank, what do you think of the 9th hole here at Quail Hollow?
Oh, I think it's a beauty, Rich. One of those long, nice drawing tee shots. 500 yards is a par 4. You have to hit a good drive down there. The fairway doesn't camber that much. Hole does dogleg to the left. Big advantage for this tee shot here.
Good strike, good lie, good chance to attack the pin. So going well up the hill to that green, will need to take an extra club here. Chance to close out the front side here with a birdie.
It's that sneaky distance.
Makes it right in the center. Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back.
Wow, I mean, she absolutely annihilated that tee ball. Wow, smoked that tee shot. Frank, this looks like a tempting opportunity here at the par 5 10th.
There's a little ridge in the middle of the green on that left side, and that'll kick the ball to the right. So you've either got to be short of it or past it.
Couldn't have done much better than that. An eagle is very possible. Getting set now over the putt. Count it. It's an eagle. Back here at the par 4 11th at Quail Hollow, set to tee off. What's the right game plan here, Frank?
There's two, really. That left bunker off the tee, it's about 265 yards to get it on the fairway, or 308 yards, 310 yards run out there. I've seen players just try and carry the bunker, sort of set up a short iron, and I've seen players like Rory McIlroy just try and blast a driver with a hook on it. Both strategies have worked.
Good tee shot, right in the fairway, and plenty long. Staring at the approach now at the par 4 11th. Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. That will be a great look at birdie. Right about 9 feet here to the hole. Wow, what a putt. That is huge. Frank, I think the mark of a good golf course design, changing directions. We go from a right to left hole, now at the 12th, to a left to right hole.
Yeah, there's no two holes at Quail Hollow that look the same. And this one's slightly downhill, a little bit to the right, and it's a bit of a sleeper. And plus you add in on top of that 450 yards plus. This is a fairway that has to be hit.
She had a good shot off the tee, and now she has all sorts of options available. Let's see what she does here. Just a bit offline here, Frank, but not too bad.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the wind or just the lie there. Should be okay.
Just a superb shot.
You're not going to see much better than that all day today. Really solid stroke.
Now to the par 3 13th hole. Frank, this one 210 yards.
Very, very good par 3. This is actually a big green. It's 37 yards deep, but it actually plays small. Has a front right portion, there's a roll-off area in the middle, and there's a roll-off area in the back. So don't be deceived by the size of this green. You better be pitching that tee shot right bang in the middle.
Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Yeah, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie, and what a day it's been. Well, now we come to the really interesting 345-yard par 4 14th. Frank, I'm thinking that if you're leading, you're probably not going to try to drive this and take on the risk with the water on the left. But if you're behind, you have a chance to make up some ground.
Yeah, I have it written in my yardage book, Rich, on this hole. Only good and bad things happen with the driver, nothing in between.
That one was running so hot. Now playing the second here at the par 4.
If you hit enough shots, every now and again, one's going to go in.
Crazy, crazy game. Now at the par 5, 15th hole, 577 yards. Frank, you remember what Rory McIlroy did here in 2010, that final round, 62?
I certainly do, Rich. That was an amazing run on the second 9. And holes like this, too, just stood up here with a driver and just obliterated it down there with a nice draw. Took those bunkers out of play and just set up a mid-iron.
Split the fairway with that. Just a gorgeous swing. Well, Frank, this is always a critical moment in the round. The 15th, the second shot to the par 5. What's your best advice?
Well, I'd actually look at the green first. You can see there's so many undulations, humps and hollows on this green. So when you look now at that second shot, you realize it's got to be hit up very, very quickly and land in whichever specific section that you're trying to hit at.
It's in the hole. Just a sensational shot right there. Now as we arrive at the par 5 15th hole here at Quail Hollow, 577 yards, Frank, I think a player has to be thinking about doing what Rory McIlroy did in 2010.
It's the last of the holes that you can really be aggressive on.
Hold on here a second. She is winding up for a big one. She wants to smash this as far as she can hit it. She really hit that tee ball nicely. It is in perfect position, and now she'll have a chance to capitalize. Well, downhill, Frank, want to play the ball, what, a little further back in the stance, take a club less? This is a good-looking shot. Beautiful shot. That is tight.
Unbelievable. That is one to savor for the rest of the round.
Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Frank, the 17th here at Quail Hollow. It is all you want.
And a bit more, actually. The only advantage the player has that plays a little bit downhill. But when you look at the lake in front of you, if there's any swirling breeze out there, it just becomes a nightmare trying to choose the right club.
What a nice shot. Right on the green and a pretty easy putt on the way. Shouldn't be a problem here.
Right, too.
Beautiful. Here we are, the 18th hole at Quail Hollow. Simply put, Frank, a player needs to hit maybe his best tee shot of the day.
I would agree with you, Rich. If you were to measure this hole from trees on the left to trees on the right, it's actually a really wide fairway or expansive land. But that creek that just meanders its way through the middle of this hole completely changes the nature of this hole. And consequently, you get the nail on the head. If you don't hit a good tee shot, you will rack up something here. And I've got no idea how big it would be.
Frank just continuing to make the game look easy.
This just shortens the whole golf course up when you can hit it that far. This one just starts right of the flag.
Boy, I'm reminded of what an old caddy used to say about the great Lanny Watkins when he was on fire. You can't hide the flagstick from that man.
Comfortably knocks it in.
Frank, year in, year out, the Wells Fargo Championship is one of the best on the PGA Tour. This year, it didn't disappoint.
No, it didn't. For a number of reasons, really. The quality of the field, Rich, but more importantly, from my point of view, the quality of the golf. Quail Hollow extracts the best out of a player. It demands it. And we saw that today.
For my partner, Frank Nobilo, and all of us here at EA Sports, I'm Rich Lerner saying so long. Until next time. NBC Golf Channel on EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live opening round coverage of the Players.
What a great shot.
Wow, that is a monster drive down there, about 315 yards. Frank, the approach shot here at the par 4 first. What's the right way to attack?
The much easier flag is down that right side because you can run that ball with the slope to that low side. Tough flag on the left.
Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot. That is classy.
Yeah, a chance of going in.
So a tester from 4 feet. So with that birdie, moves to 1 under for the tournament. How about this second, a par 5?
Well, if you're brave, you try and flash it down that tree line down the left, but there's a couple of limbs that poke out. Every now and again, they catch an errant tee shot.
Oh, I love this. She is winding up, just wants to tear the cover off this golf ball.
Ah, nice.
Looks good. Frank, I know you like boxing. That was some heavyweight power right there.
Smoked it.
Frank, that's as good as I have seen all day long.
I think we've got to blame that on the weather. That weather, the wind had to help that ball give it another 20, 30 yards.
Excellent shot to within 10 feet. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. So, Frank, what do you think of the start so far?
Rock solid. Very impressed.
Frank, a nice mix of holes to start. So here we go with a par 3 at the third.
Very narrow at the front of the screen, and that bunker too, you don't actually see it off the tee, the back left bunker, and it sneaks into that left side. So if that flag is on the left, just be careful.
Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now.
-4 early. And now back over to the fourth. Couple of birdies already on the card. Still early, Frank, but we've seen some solid play.
This is exactly how you want to start the first round of a tournament, Rich.
That's a good spot right there.
Center cut.
Not the longest, but not bad. 295 yards in the fairway.
Safely on deck.
That will be a great look at birdie. Frank going for another birdie here.
Just to get on a real roll.
Comfortably inside the cut line, the young prodigy makes another birdie. Frank, how about this par 4 fifth?
I lost count the number of bunkers here, off the tee and sort of in play with the second shot if you're in trouble, or even the one that's sort of left and long. Really good par 4 though. Fairway somehow has to be achieved if you want to reduce this par 4 to just a simple 2-shotter.
Well, that was a beautiful drive, Frank. Really good position to take advantage.
Sitting up beautifully in the fairway.
What a display of shot making this has been, Frank.
That incredible approach shot there. The easiest of birdies coming up.
Good chance here. Currently at 5 under par. This is a pretty good performance right here. 6 under for the tournament. Frank, this isn't a hole that sort of jumps out at you the way, say, 17 does.
Yeah, a lot of times people will just sort of gloss over it, but anytime you get a par 4 under 400 yards, it's a great opportunity. But once again, a positional hole. Take advantage of it.
Good strike, good lie, good chance to attack the pin. Frank, how do you size up the approach shot now at the 6th?
Ideally, you'd want to have a good yardage in here. Something where you can hit a nice, high, lofted short iron to make sure that you don't mess with those palm trees.
Well, she just played a wonderful shot from back there. These putts keep the round together. On fire right now, 7 under par. Frank, the 7th hole here at the TPC Sawgrass, vintage Pete Dye, isn't it?
It is. Anything other than straight confuses the player off the tee. But there's 3 pot bunkers down the right side. Just inside that last little pot bunker on the left of that, it's actually a pretty good line.
What a drive. Just tattooed that. Now the approach to the 7th. Frank, what do you need to be mindful of here?
It's rather narrow in the front of this green, and then there's some mounds both right and left. Be very aware of those mounds. They can actually help you out.
Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. And another green in regulation. Locked in on the read and the speed. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Frank, 17 here at TPC Sawgrass gets all the attention when you look at the par 3s, justifiably so. But number 8 is a daunting challenge in its own right.
It is. Longest of the 4 par 3s. Plus, it's just littered with bunkers around the side, the back, and the front.
Appears to be tracking well. That's a solid shot here into the 8th hole, and a good chance now for another birdie. This is a 9-footer. Really hitting on all cylinders now. 9 under for the tournament. Frank, now at the 9th, this really is one of my favorite par 5s in the entire sport.
And I certainly enjoy watching people play it today, Rich. It used to be unreachable, but the longer hitters now, we're starting to see them go for this par 5 regularly in 2. And the reason why they start to hit the drive more down the right now than what they used to. People used to try and go down the left side. The right side, it hugs the water, but you get a better view of the second shot.
What a tremendous display of power and precision.
Second shot.
Couldn't have done much better than that. An eagle is very possible. Well, in the words of the late, great baseball commentator for the Yankees, Phil Rizzuto, it's time for Holy Cow, Whitey. That's 11 under par. Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back. Long and straight.
That's how you do it. Looks to be a good setup going into the green here at the 10th. All right, the winds are starting to pick up. Frank, you've played in conditions all over the world. What's the right way to approach it?
Well, you've really got to find out, first of all, the direction of the wind, and you have to be certain of it right now. And plus, if there's a gust, that's something you've got no control over.
Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. She is making it look easy. Another excellent approach shot. Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie, and what a day it's been. Let's go to the 11th. Now it's a par 5 and a fun hole, Frank. You can make anything from 3 to 7 here.
And that's why, as the start of the back nine, especially on a Sunday, this becomes such a pivotal hole to start a run. Big body of sand down the left side. Sometimes the longer hitters can get close to with the tee shot, but really it's the second shot. If you can reach this par 5 and 2, it's a very narrow green. The layup, well, it's actually an awkward layup, Rich, because you've got to push that ball to the left side, almost like a zigzag approach.
Well, this is some drive. I'm reminded of the old Phillies baseball announcer, Harry Callis, who used to say, "That ball is out of here." Beautiful shot. That is tight.
Unbelievable. That is one to savor for the rest of the round.
Oh, yes, that's an eagle. Now to the par 4 12th, and it's a pretty short hole, Frank.
Yeah, Pete Dye often doesn't get enough credit for his short par 4s. This is a great example where one of the features of it is the blind second shot, just to give you a little bit of doubt on judging the distance.
Frank couldn't ask for anything more.
Just the lie there, too. It is sitting up like it's teed up.
Now the approach to the 12th, Frank. What's the player looking at?
Well, it's a fun shot here for the second shot, especially if you've driven it down the right side, because then you can see the flag no matter where it is on the green.
Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Oh, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
Just 5 feet left. $15 under for the day. One of the great things about this golf course, Frank, a variety of par 3s, different yardages. Here at the 13th, 181-yard par 3.
Yeah, this is where you have to be careful on the tee there. Anything left's just going to be eaten up by that lake. Matter of fact, if you hit one with a little bit of a hook and it catches the mound, it can still kick into the lake. So this one here, just be a little cautious on the tee.
Well played here. Went straight for the flagstick, and she will have a nice putt coming up. Settles in over the putt. Good putt. Frank Tiger certainly had his adventures here at 14.
Well, we'll never forget that. Spun it left. In the end, was very, very lucky to get away with 6. Had it been 7, Garcia might have just caught him at the post. But he will, and we will, never forget 14.
She's ended up on the fairway, and with such a good lie, so many more options available now. Frank, halfway home on maybe the toughest par 4 in the golf course.
Yeah, for some reason, for such a big green, it's always hard to get that second shot close.
Moving a little bit to the right. That will be a great look at birdie. Shouldn't be a problem here. Oh, man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. So just a formality here. Nothing wrong with that par putt. Now to the 15th, and Frank, I know this is a hole that you really like.
Yeah, it gets no respect in my book, which I think is a shame. Just a nice dogleg to the right, and really 2 good shots, and a 3 here, which is actually a rarity. It sets you up for those close.
Let's see what she's got here. She is loading up with a big one. Good strike, good lie, good chance to attack the pin. Getting set now for the approach at the 15th.
Yeah, good-looking second shot here, but you've got to be precise. Hardly a flat spot on this green.
That should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now.
Continuing to putt with confidence. You licking your chops here, Frank, as a player, when you get to this tee box?
Well, it's an opportunity. A 4 here certainly makes the mood better when you walk to 17 and then 18. So a 4 here is more than just making a birdie on a par 5. Just smokes it. That's a ginormous tee shot.
Second shot. Good look at the green. Moving a little left of the flagstick, Frank. Frank, not just a player, but an artist. Just beautiful work right there.
The only thing I can say, Rich, is that was Sevier-esque.
Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. Right in the heart. Frank, the history of this hole reads a little bit like an Edgar Allan Poe novel. It's scary. The highest number here was what?
It was 12, actually. Bob Tway, all the way back in 2005. 4 balls in the water. So if you're feeling bad, just think of Bob Tway and how he felt.
Well, look out. This could be wet, Frank.
It's heading towards the hazard.
That is classy.
They had a chance of going in.
Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Now one of the more difficult holes in golf. The 18th here at Sawgrass, 462-yard par 4. In 2013, this hole averaged .39 strokes above par. What makes it so challenging, Frank?
Just that big body of water that's to the left of 18 here, that's also shared to the right of 9. Not a single fairway bunker on this 18th hole. So really, lack of definition. It's so hard to find a target here.
Couldn't ask for too much better here. Now the approach shot here to 18, just one last good swing, Frank.
There's a little false front here that you have to avoid, so something that pitches over that right bunker that lands a good 10 or so yards on this green is certainly the desired goal.
This is a good-looking shot. Terrific golf shot. And now that for an easy birdie. Just a couple of feet. And that's a birdie. So through one round, Frank, our leader really put on a good show today.
They certainly did, Rich. It was truly a great performance, especially from tee to green. It's not easy to come out of the gates like that.